far, far, far superior than any of them human there, right? But he just humbled himself and, all right. But there was one thing that he could do, is go into the minds of people and just read them, connect with them, read them, you know? And then, even if they agreed or not, he could just read them by just all in onto them and just put the vibration onto them, you know? And that was like, for me, that was like, yo, I wonder if that can be true. And it was a trend at that time that there was people who was going around, and there was Uri Geller. You remember Uri Geller, right? The spoon bender, right? Where you could manipulate molecular structures to transform, right? Simple trick for him, right? That he just, put his mind to it and then, just change up the thing. And it was always one of those fascinating things of that, boy, if this man can do it, how comes we all can't do that? How comes we all can't do that? Because that to me is like a natural thing. Natural. Yeah? And then even for animals to actually communicate, how do they communicate? And then you realize, say, that a lot of them is body language, and they are operating at different frequencies. They not only are they operating at different frequencies, but they are also capable, right, of literally communicating and existing without the help of humans. In fact, they do very well without the help of humans. In fact, the only thing that they, in some cases, that they are afraid of and that they are in danger of is the human interaction. So when you see them little advert there on television about save our gorillas, ooh, save this kitten, ooh, the dogs would be starving if we did not come along and help them. Huh? Well, say yam out your throat if you leave the dog. But anyhow, so when they are saying, oh, they need us, they need your money, the only things that we should be concerned with is the humane existence, the humane development, your development. Which part do you play in this thing, yes, sir? Huh? Which part? If you want to talk of the higher source or life force, then which part do you play in that conundrum? Because remember, there's been a whole lot of deceptions for many thousands of years now. Have you seek your truth and to really find out your balance of purpose? What is your natural ability? What is your natural skill? What is it? Do not allow yourself to be dormant or remain dormant and finish yourself off without even exercising not one piece of it. It's like when a child is playing. You know, many of them they play out their lives right in front of your eyes, and you don't even realize it. Hmm? Imagine now you have a daughter or a son, and they are there. You don't have to give them nothing, you know, because they will create anything out of anything, right? And they're just at play. They're just at play. But what they are doing also as they mature through life, they emulate and copy and mimic something that they enjoy. So some of them who love to, you know, let's bake. Let's bake. Let me cook for you. Yeah? Let me make you a cup of tea. Know that they are happy in their home and they want to be part of a home. Hmm? You know, the young boy, they will just want to play football all the time. Some of you just want to go sit down and draw. Be creative in that way. Painting. Yeah. Some of them just want to go play with the animals, them. Yeah. Could be from insect to dog to cat to anything that moving. Spider. Ooh. But they're fascinated. They're fascinated with life. Yeah. There's a character there, right? And remember, we had them characters as well in our fables and stories, like a Nancy, you know, the man who could turn into a spider and all that, right? Yeah, you see, we have the abilities to be imaginative, but those imaginations can come to fruition. Not to say that you can turn in a spider, but the impetus of thinking and doing and creating and manifesting into reality. Why do I talk like this morning, my Galaxy people? Everything in life progresses. Everything in life progresses, makes a movement, makes a shift. Nothing stands still. Just like the days that we are experiencing, the orbital changes, the planetary movements, right? Everything changes. Nothing stands still. The molecular structures of our bodies as we mature through time, nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. And we are very blessed to be part of an existence, what we call life. We are here for a speck of universal time. We are part of the massive machinery of this universe, and we are here in obligation to play our part. Yes, our life should be a balance. Our life should be fulfilling, but there are other factors that at times will throw us off our true purpose. Where we live can be a determining factor of that. How we live could be a determining factor in that. The outside influences that we have allowed to be part of our lives could be a determining factor in that. You yourself and your decisions of direction could be a determining factor in that. Putting into motion of what you see as your destiny. How many of us has changed our tune? How many of us have changed our direction? How many of us has lost our way? If you're honest to yourself, there's many of us who has even just parked up, abandoned the vehicle, and gone off and done something different. But yet, we still want to see and ride on the bus to freedom. And say, why? I don't know. And they will make up all 200, 300 excuses of why not. But they couldn't come up with 10 life-changing reasons of why I should not do this, be part of. The positive nature of all of us is very, very, very important to work at all the time. You notice though, right? I deliberately, I do steer the program that I do by not really involving or using too much of the influences of the outside into my morning programs. Mainly because I want you to hear and develop your voice. I want you to be pure in thought without influences. Life is going on all around us. But we're not taking that time to really, really dig deep within ourselves and develop the language that will actually express who we are, what we are, and where we're going. The purity of thought cannot be influenced, cannot be created by anybody else or anything else apart from yourself. Give your time, give yourself the time and space to have that in-depth conversation with not only yourself, but with all of the contributory factors that is there, guiding, supporting, and pushing you forward. We always talk of the presence of our ancestors. We call upon that. How many times have you had your inner conversation with them? They've set the foundation. They've set the foundation with their presence in your life, their influences, their words of wisdom, their actions of support. They've set all that foundation already there. How many times are you utilizing their works? How many times have you visited them to even say thank you? Thank you. How many times have you brought them back to life in your mind's eyes? How many times have you visited them in your dream state? Hmm? Do you call their names, or do you just have them in the ether of ancestor? Hmm? Do you call their names? Call their names. Call their names. Allow them to sit down beside you, or you sit down beside them and be with them whenever you need to. Be with them. Be comfortable with that. Here on, sorry, here on the Galaxy for we.net, we invite you all to be on the journey of progress. We invite you all to be more powerful than what you can perceive yourself to be. The journey is there. We have you. Mind, body, and soul. We've been very, very fortunate to have a collection of guides, inspirational, serious teachers here on the Galaxy. And we still leave room. We still leave room for the generational growth for those who need and who will be the future of Galaxy. We still leave room for those to come, to be part of this. Right? And the reason why we are always doing that is because we are a progressive people. The vehicle is here. Does not mean that all of us will be here to see it go through into the future. But there are those who are going to be coming who will push it into the future. Time runs, time goes. And we are just part of that. We are just part of that. I am loving the fact that there are so many of our young people or younger people who are taking the initiative to go out there and to be progressive, not only for themselves, but to be part of the community. We all love that. We all love it. And we need to be supportive. We need to be supportive of those who are in our community. We need to be supportive of those who are looking and seeking knowledge, understanding, and progress. And for those also who are in need of support and help. For those who are in need of support and help, we need to be opening our eyes, our hearts, and sometimes our time as well to those around us. Do not be so judgmental of those around us. Ensure that they could come to you and have a safe space, because they are fighting against life. They're fighting against discriminatory or prejudgment from everybody else. But with you, they could feel safe. Why? Because you treat them in a humane way. Their behavior may be strange with others, but obviously, if they come to you or they're in your presence, they are calm. Because why? You have said that this is a safe space, man. This is a safe space, my sister. Come, sit down. Tell me what I go on. Let me tell you something now. Share a laugh, share a joke, share a moment. Yeah? If it's coffee, tea, or whatever, chocolate tea or whatever. You know? You'd be surprised how so many of us are so disconnected. They may be out here busy, running up and down here, there, and everything. And you think, why them man, they're always doing something. But they haven't had that time. They haven't had that space to literally sit down and just be themselves or be with someone who appreciates them for who they are, not necessarily what they're representing or what they or who they are becoming or who they portray. You ever get an actor? You ever meet an actor? And what do most of us do? We call them and see them as the character. We call them and see them by the name, and we just interact with them as the character. Remember, they're just playing a part. This is not them. This is not them. How many of us look on life in them ways there too? You would see somebody and they say, boy, the way you are going on radio, the way that you are going on YouTube, and what's it? Where is it? It could be anywhere. But then they're in a public arena, and then when you pull them aside for like a one-to-one now, it's a completely different person. It could be that shy person or introvert, don't really interact, you know? And this is our thing. The message in the delivery of most presentations can be can be a fallacy. It can be a fallacy, right? It's because it's been rehearsed to the extent of where the presenter literally believes that they are that caricature that they're portraying. They are that emotion that they feel that things need to do, things need to be done, right? And don't let them remind you of that. Yeah. And in each step, they have gone through with that momentum of living vicariously through actions. But yet, is that the real person? Is that the quiet person? Is that the person who 4 o'clock a morning, when they jump out of their sleep, that you will be encountering to right through to 12 o'clock at night, when they're totally exhausted and they want to go sleep? Is that the real true person? It was said even last night, that you don't know nobody until you've spent or go on a holiday together, right? In other words, spend time together. You see what happened over the last few years there, where it was imposed upon many people that, you know what, you've got to stay in. You can't come out unless the only reason you gotta come out is to exercise for a certain period of time, and then you may come out onto the street for that period of time. That was a true test. That was a true test for many in a relationship. Because them say, boy, you know something? Me can't take it. Can't take being around you. Oh, is that how you really are? Is that how you carrying on? Eh? Okay. What did you just say? What did you just call me? I never know you feel them today. Where did that come from? What do you mean you've been thinking them ways for years? Yeah, pressure bust pipe. Yeah. It's better that you know, though. It's better that you know, but rather than you don't know. I tell you, it's not an easy life. No way is it an easy life. No way. But it's also a real life. It's a real life. So when you actually put yourself in a position, are you living the true you, or is there the element of expectation and excitement of being with yourself, and excitement of sharing yourself with another person? Are you excited to be part of progress, life's progress? Are you still excited about hearing the news, the good news of somebody else's progress? And it's not just the development of a child, but it's also the development of others in life. Are you excited about that? Or do you still harbor that I was going to say resentment? Yeah, I'll use that. Do you harbor resentment to others? Even, the stupid things like, why? They're always dressed in a certain way, Look on them. And I look like them and go fashion show to her. Always look say, why? They want to wear them designer, so. Yeah? That's not always the good case. You don't know their life. But they've just set a certain standard for themselves. And they feel comfortable enough to live within that. I guarantee, like how we man go on anyhow, right? But what is fresh today could look fresh 2, 3, 4 years later. Why? Because we feel comfortable in it. No matter how many times we wear it out, it's still a go on. Yeah? It's still in a fashion. Yeah? There might be a little bit more material here, a bit more material there. But, I saw fashion go on. But we're always looking to progress. We're always looking to progress. And as the Galaxy family, I would encourage you to be part of that. Be part of life's progress. Be part of what you need to be part of to see the progress, not only in yourself, but for others as well. Set your foundation. Set your foundation. Set the foundation for you to be. To be the part of what needs to be for the future. Can you imagine? Let them talk about you and what you done for them. Don't just, and you know something? I know that over the last few years now, right? They've been saying, oh, you should give them their flowers. What that means is that before the only time that you would get flowers or appreciation or shown appreciation, right, is when you pass off. It's like when you're dead, like the reef, But like what they're saying, what the trend is now, is no, we need to be doing that while they're alive so that they can really appreciate who we're there and what they've done for us. So, let's reach out. And I always encourage you still. Reach out and ensure that you are giving your flowers to those who you appreciate. All right. Here we are.
Yo, DJ. Yo. See better some of your right hand now. Myself for them. Yo, how go on? How you feed them boy then?
Breaking news. Friend killed friend on Friendship Boulevard in front of friend. Police stray bullet killed an innocent bystander. Determined will now take over.
I miss the friends killing friend. Parents molesting children. What is this world coming to? Police are big thief. Why stop the youths on them knees? What is this world coming to? The not practice where them preach. Kids I get raped at the creek. Me take sleep on my head. Sometimes I don't feel like for sleep. Human trafficking, organs are sell like food at market. But highly I'm a whole pocket. What that it is? The youth they get parking ticket and you full them up a bullet. Hey, policeman know you so wicked. Miss a government from the parliament. Who so cookie? Them a shut the house, only a them stupid. Try kill love, them shot stupid. I know that the love that's in my heart, it's more powerful than your bullet.
Breaking news, breaking news.
I see friends killing friends, parents molesting children. What is this world coming to? Police are big thief, but stop the youths on them knees. What is this world coming to? The devil instrument, evil them implement. Working with the Margot Lord, them will lift your body in cement. But mine got full be fightings. Come chat a fly through one islands. Preference in the house, no violence. Man a kill man for less than a pound cent. But the big government figure tell the president. Love we want like a dollar nor cent. Central bank run go tell the UN. Give them if the man the other rest of friends. I'm a son none shall escape. Earthquake attack them skyscraper. Typhoon a stop them airplane. Them ships and tanker. I see friends killing friends, parents molesting children. What is this world coming to? Police are big thief, but stop the youths on them knees. What is this world coming to?
Lines are open. Lines are open at 0203-289-6504.
I feel like for sleep. Human trafficking, organs are sell like food at market. But highly I'm a whole pocket. What that it is? The youth get parking ticket and you full them up a bullet. Hey, policeman know you so wicked. Miss a government from the parliament. Who so cookie? Them a shut the house, only a them stupid. Try kill love, them shot stupid. I know that the love that's in my heart, it's more powerful than your bullet. I see friends killing friends, parents molesting children. What is this world coming to? Police are big thief.
Yes, we talk about it, we sing about it every day, not true, huh?
More power for the people.
All those who's listening from across the sea, across the water. Greetings.
More power for the people. More power for the people, I say. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Never want to engage the people in conversation. Don't even give a damn about their plight. Economical strategies, political monopoly, an orchestrated plan put into motion. More power for the people. More power for the people, I say. Yeah, yeah. More power for the people. More power for the people. More power for the people, I say. Yeah, yeah. More power for the people. More power for the people, I say. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Never want to engage the people in conversation. Don't even give a damn about their plight. Economical strategies, political monopoly, an orchestrated plan put into motion. More power for the people. More power for the people, I say. Yeah,
a change. Now the bloody cities are going up in flames. It's time for a change. Since baby Jawa is falling again. Oh yeah, oh yeah. More power for the people. More power for the people, I say. Yeah, yeah. More power for the people. More power for the people, I say. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. More power for the people. More power for the people, I say. Yeah, yeah.
Uppermost thoughts in our minds and hearts here on the galaxy of we.net. It's not true. Sure.
Majesty, Selassie, Hail the King, you know, forever. Yeah. And everything that we sing and do and chanting, I war. Channel. Like the poem, you know. Blaze it up. I'm burn some frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense and myrrh, burning sweet like the frankincense and myrrh. The warriors follow behind the lion and Judah, them have a lion fur. Be frankincense, clearing your sense, sweet like myrrh, burning like the frankincense and myrrh. Be frankincense, clearing yourself, sweet like myrrh. Warriors follow behind the lion and Judah, them have a lion fur. Clear mean frank, you have to be clear to really make sense. Check the word frankincense, I say be frankincense. Don't be cloud incense, proud incense, I say be humble incense. He that keepeth silla become master of his intent, master of his sense, no outer sense. Incense like the sweet frankincense, like it you must emit sweet scent, in with in depth, in height, in length, purify the atmosphere. Like the golden I send aromatherapy, tetra and the Bible give you high incense, burning frankincense and myrrh, burning like the frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense, clear your sense, we like myrrh, worry behind the lion, the avant lion. Kid and myrrh. Outside my window is a big Cambran tree. I take 2 leaves off and make some nice Cambran tea. Some frankincense and myrrh. Give me the sense in me that make me run go ball and shine. All a humble God with the laugh keep me seen in a jar. Frankincense and myrrh. I rather be frankincense and myrrh. Clear with my thoughts, humble in the Almighty Jah. Give me strength, keep me whole in the fire. Selassie keep me right in sin. Don't keep me blind in sins no more. The greedy full up our riches while they pour it out alone. I rather be clear in just sense, I have no sense to talk. I just keep me right in sin. With the sweet frankincense and myrrh. As the fletcher straighten his arrow, Jamban straighten his thoughts in the presence of the Lord. Sitting in the chamber, clear and focused, surrounded by frankincense. Surrounded by frankincense and myrrh. Burning sweet like the frankincense and myrrh. The warriors follow behind the lion and Judah, them have a lion fur. Be frankincense, clearing your sense, sweet like myrrh. Burning like the frankincense and myrrh. Burning sweet like the frankincense and myrrh. The warriors follow behind the lion and Judah, them have a lion fur. Be frankincense, clearing your sense, sweet like myrrh, burning like the frankincense and myrrh.
Yes, that's our young brother there giving you some ancient stuff.
Children moving along. One by one. Children two by two.
Yeah. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Let's cool yourself. Cool yourself a little piece, man. Let me just rap to the people then right now. Okay? Some messages, yes, sir. Right? This is from across the waters. From Doctor. Doctor. Yeah, just touchdown too, yeah. From our doctor. Abu Ratata. Message. Sometimes you got to put aside what you feel for them and pay attention to what their actions are saying they feel for you. You want to feel that one? Let me come again with it for you. Sometimes you got to put aside what you feel for them and pay attention to what their actions are saying they feel for you. Yes. Yes. This is how life can be. This is how life can be. Yeah? And this is why I'm saying to you. That, you have to be very, very aware of who and what is happening around you. Because as much as you are doing for, there are those who would look to be the parasite of your good nature, of your time. There are those who plan to use you and yours before you even get it. Yeah? Can you imagine waking up in the morning? Can you imagine waking up in the morning, right? Big bright morning. And you've done your balancing and everything. And you say, right, how are we gonna set the day? And then you get a knock on the door. Get a knock on the door. And it's a family member. And the family member just standing there by the door in silence with a stone look on their face. And then, of course, you're going to say, well, what's happening? What's wrong? And that gives them the invitation to come and say, whoa, whoa. And they give you the whoa is me talk. Whoa. It's like life done. My life done now. Okay. So, if your life is done, that means, what can I do? That's a good thing you asked me that, Good thing you asked me that. And then that's when they come with the sucking out of you. But remember, it wasn't something that just comes so. They put it to thought. They put it to thought. And then you were the recipient of that. Yeah? And you think, wow. Wow. Because there are many, right, that you would never know what's going on for them. You would never know. You would never know. And then when things are right at the rock bottom, you might hear about it. But them now go push out and then now go ask for. Why? Because them no say they will be putting you along with themselves in a position that would not be beneficial for either one or another. So rather than that, they prefer to settle in themselves and just hold them space and corner in them ways there. Yeah? Don't be fooled by the stillness and the stealthiness of many that their life is good. And yet their life is a massive challenge. The life is a massive challenge. And when I say a challenge, I mean say that they are facing some serious pressure. Serious pressure that nobody has experienced before. For them, this is probably the first time they broke. So, yeah. But it might not be just finance. It could be time. They just don't have enough time on their hands. You know? They're just trying to do everything for themselves or by themselves. And it's just not enough time to do everything that they need to do. Life can be challenging in many ways. Yeah. Obviously, we're emphasizing well-being first. In other words, look for yourself first before you step out to do for others. Yeah? Set your program first before you do for others. And it's not everything you're supposed to stretch your hand. Not everything. Don't stretch your hand for everybody and anybody. So, yeah? Because I've seen this. Like when we've gone on visits to various places around the world. Yeah? And then they were literally people are using whatever way they can to manipulate themselves into your life. Yeah? They see you as a cash cow, not only financially, but they see you say that you can do for them. And then when you say, even test them, You know, figuratively speaking, just give me a cup of water, no? Boy, you know, some boy. We don't have it, you know. With all that you have done and given to them. And yet they look fitter and fatter than you. Figuratively speaking. They look fitter and fatter than you. No problem still. No problem. You just know how to balance yourself. As much as they give, they shall receive. It's funny how sometimes, you know, when you treat people the same way that them treat themselves, or they treat you, or so many of them just draw away. You know, just draw back from you. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Let them go on. Let them go on. They've set the standard, so let that standard be. And I'm not still. We don't have to be following or get dragged into something that is gonna put us under pressure for them to look good out of things. It's like it's like when somebody all of a sudden come into some kind of financial gain, right? When they go into their financial gain, and then, you know, all of a sudden they get a little ease up. They get a little ease up in life. And then all of a sudden, everybody has these millionaire ideas. They all of a sudden got these millionaire ideas. Come, let me show you something. Oh, if you just have a little piece of investment in this, we can make a money, you know. Yeah. Really. And what are you doing to work to do that then? What are you doing? Well, boy, you know, not going on for me right now. But you've got this idea. So why don't you do whatever you need to do? Well, I've tried everything. Well, never one, two. So that's not everything. Huh? Well, why, you know, why you're going so? No, it's not that I'm going so. I just want to know how much you are invested in this. Because if you have such a great idea, why are you not doing everything that you can, in every way you can, to make this thing work and go through? Right? It is such a great idea. Why? Me not know about you. You can go on funny. No, I'm just talking the truth. Talking the truth. There's nothing funny about it. If it was funny, I would tell you a joke. Ellie, joker. Yeah. Here on the galaxy of we.net. I saw we all go on right now. Telling you. Beware of that.
Do you want to know what is a scam? A scam is having the Bible translated into Swahili, Yoruba, Igbo, Zulu, and every other African language, but having 0 scientific books translated into a single African language. That is a conspiracy. That is a trap, and that's a scam. Someone who can be scammed with the same trick over and over again for decades upon decades is considered a fool, and their gullibility and lack of critical thinking make them willing participants in their own destruction. I have walked into different libraries, and I have seen university science books translated into Chinese, Russian, Portuguese, Arabic, and so forth. I have seen Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, translated into French. I have seen the Japanese version of A Man's Search for Meaning. I have seen the Spanish version of Alchemist. I have seen the Arabic version of The Art of War. All these books, I have seen them in various languages, but none in any African language. An African child is sent to Arabic school just to learn Arabic, so that he can read the word of her supposed creator, while the Arab prays and learn in their own language. African child learns and pray in other languages. You will find churches in Africa where the English became preacher would have a native translator next to them doing the translation. Here's where the scam comes. And you will never find a school in Africa where the teacher will have a translator next to them to translate chemistry, physics, mathematics, geography, economics to the students. I have seen many science books translate into various languages, but none in any African language. The Chinese are taught mathematics in Chinese. The Japanese are taught engineering in Japanese. They are all taught finance, chemistry, astrophysics, accounting, medicine, geology, government in their languages. The only book that Africans have had in their languages is the Bible and Quran. The only time Africans have something translated them to in their language is in a church and mosque. The black African wretched of the earth is the only member of the human race who has been brainwashed to think that his ancestors bequeathed him with a curse that has prevented home from attaining his goal and desires. Almost every misfortune he encounters on earth is the fault of some ancestors who must be bound and cast in the fire of the Holy Ghost. The white people don't have terrible ancestors. The Arab that enslaved Africans for 700 years don't have wicked ancestors. No member of humans race has wicked ancestors who have done terrible things. No, it's only the black Africans. Black Africans are the only member of human race that will sit down, write a movie script to mock or belittle his or her heritage, In Western world, Xmas is the biggest festival. Christmas stemmed from both the Roman paganism and Roman cultures. The biggest festival in Arab world is Eid al-Fitr. The biggest festival in Israel is Pesach. The biggest festival in China is Spring Festival. Festival of Light is the biggest festival in India. Black people are probably the only human species on planet Earth that helps other races celebrate their own festivals, but nobody celebrates theirs with them. They generally believe their own ways are inferior. Therefore, it's hard for them to evolve the beautiful things their ancestors left. He belittled the ancestors who gave him life. The continent is the only continent where Christianity and Islam concept of a God is shared equally. Even though both preach peace and love, yet there is no peace and love. When an African man is not praying to a foreign God, he will be treating himself in a foreign hospital, or visiting another man's country for religious purposes, or praying to his own creator in Arabic. He calls another man's history holy book, just because they told him to ask him, what is holy about the book? It's an abomination for him to see the world through his own culture. Slaves weren't allowed to do that. He steals money from his land to keep in a foreign land. His God and his country was created for him. No wonder nobody respects him. The black man is roaming around the world like a tortoise without a shell. He has no backbone, zero identity. No one respects him. He is lynched in Malaysia, incarcerated in Cambodia. He is shot like a dog in the streets of America. Not until we all free our minds from mental slavery, we will be wretched of the world. Welcome to Clarity Revolution. Subscribe to our YouTube for more longer content. For thinkers alone.
Step by step, got the children and moving on, yeah. One by one, the children moving two by two. Yes, we try to tree by tree, until we all are free, yeah. Cause in the valley and over the hill, on the ocean across the land, Jackson words we must fulfill. It's a part of a master plan. 1,000 years of history, it's just another mystery. Now the times are revealing that the children keep on moving, step by step as we try to learn. We keep on moving on, one by one, we're moving on. We've been Babylon, yeah. Step by step, make we try to learn. Yes, we try it now. One by one, let us move along. Moving out of Babylon. No more rumors and no more wars. Africa is the land so far, and there's so much separation. so much tribulation, but early in the morning when the children rise, your children keep on moving now. Early in the morning when your children rise now. Yes, we're moving on. Step by step, let me try to love. Let us try to love now. One by one, we're moving on. Out of Babylon. Step by step, let me try to love. Your children come along. One by one, yes, we're moving on. Out of Babylon, out of Babylon. Yes, we're moving on. Yeah. Step by step, yeah. Got your children are moving on. One by one. Got your children traveling 2 by 2. 3 by 3. Until we all are free, yeah. In the valleys and over the hills, on the ocean across the land, got your works we must fulfill. It's a master's plan. 1,000 years of history. It's just another mystery. Now the times are revealing. Judge your children, them are moving now. Step by step, let me try to love. Come on, yeah. One by one, gonna move along. Just leaving Babylon. Step by step, as we try to love. Yes, we try it on. One by one, as we move along. Leaving Babylon. Step by step, as we try to love. Yeah. Won't you come along now? One by one, we're moving on. Yes, we're moving on. About the old time reggae, that's the real deal and I want it. Give me back the old time reggae, that's the real deal and I want it. Don't let them try to fool you. I'm here to school you. Foundation is the way to go. There is no other way. Real reggae music got class. A lot of them got class. A lot of hype but no substance at all. Oh God Almighty, help us now. Give me back the old time reggae. That's the real deal and I want it. Give me back the old time reggae. That's the real deal and I want it. Where the teachers gone? Where are the real generals? And be so damn scared. Write and sing reality songs. Some musicians ain't got the passion no more. Music get lost on the highway. All I see nowadays is just the hype and the money thing. If you got me one time reggae, that's the real deal and I want it. Give me back the one time reggae, that's the real deal and I want it. Reggae music is a blessing given to us by the Almighty. Couldn't take a joke, but in the long run you will choke. Better rise up now, rise up before it's too late. Better rise up now, for the time is getting shorter every day. Give me back the old time reggae, that's the real deal and I want it. Give me back the old time reggae, that's That's the real deal and I want it. Don't let them try to fool you. I'm here to save you. Foundation is the way to go. There is no other way. Real reggae music got class. A lot of them got lost. A lot of hype but no substance. Better stand up and fight now. Give me back the old time reggae. That's the real deal and I want it. Give me back the old time reggae. That's the real deal and I want it. Give me back the old time reggae. That's the real deal and I want it. Give me back the old time reggae. That's the real deal and I want it.
This month marks 23 years since the passing of the late great Bernie Grant, a former member of this House and the founder of the UK reparations movement in the UK. In his last Prime Minister's questions before his death, he asked for an apology to the people of African descent, living and dead, for our country's role in slavery and colonialism. But since then, Prime Ministers and heads of state have only ever expressed sorrow or deep regret. These are not sentiments that are befitting one of the greatest atrocities in human history. And there's been no acknowledgement of the wealth that has been amassed or the fact that our country took out the largest loan it ever has to pay off the slave owners and not the enslaved. So I want to ask the Prime Minister today if he will do what Bernie Grant asked all those years ago, what I have asked and what countless others have asked since, and offer a full and meaningful apology for our country's role in slavery and colonialism and commit to reparatory justice.
No, Mr. Speaker. That what I think our focus should now be on doing is, of course, understanding our history in all its parts, not running away from it, but right now making sure that we have a society which is inclusive and tolerant of people from all backgrounds. That's something that we on this house, our side of the house, are committed to doing and will continue to deliver. But trying to unpick our history is not the right way forward, and it's not something that we will focus our energies on.
Yes, you've been told.
When they say that you don't love me, oh yeah. When they say that you don't love me, I just smile. I just smile. And when they say that you've been cheating all the while, I just smile. I smile because I know better. I smile because I know better that you would give your life for me, that you would share your dreams with me. When they say that you've been lying all the while, all the time. And when they say that you've been running around all the time, all the while, I smile because I know better. I smile because I know better that you would give your life for me, that you would share your dreams with me. I love. Ooh. I smile because I know better. I smile because I know better that you would give your life for me, that you would share your dreams with me. When they say that you've been lying all the while, when they say that you've been cheating on me all the time, all the while, I smile because I know better. I smile because I know better that you would give your life for me, that you would share your dreams with me, that you would share your world with me, that you would share your dreams with me, yeah. I know a little better about her.
Pan-African Congress Movement presents African Liberation Day 2023, Monday the 29th of May. The West Indian Center, Carmel Road, Manchester.
You don't know the big vibes.
10 a.m. Main
You don't know the big.
starts 12 till 9 p.m. This is a live event with reasonings on mental health and youth. The theme, the Grand African Renaissance Part 2. Look out for more information to follow in the coming weeks. This event is supported by GalaxyAfriWe.net.
No one no vanity, just Jaja blessing. No one no vanity, just Jaja blessing. Food from Thompson, pen no drink tea from honey. Central Village, Rockford, no drink tea from honey. And all because of the bastard system. Jah, are you alone can bring change? Revolution time. Lady, you say my ball boy. We no see no leaders down here, ready to put them life on the line. They might trample the people rights. The system not give us no rights. We want provide and can't provide. We need some changes in our life. Someday, one day, when I'm able to relax with my family, take them out to picnic on a Sunday. No one no vanity, just Jaja blessing. No one no vanity, just Jaja blessing. Food from Thompson, pen no drink tea from honey. Central Village, Rockford, no drink tea from honey. And all because of the bastard system. Jah, are you alone can bring change? Revolution time. Lady, you say my ball boy. We no see no leaders down here, ready to put them life on the line. They might trample the people rights. The system not give us no rights. We want provide and can't provide. We need some changes in our life. Someday, one day, when I'm able to relax with my family, take them out to picnic on a Sunday. But my dream seems impossible. They make it look as if my goals are not reachable. But my dreams seems impossible. Yes, my dreams seems impossible. It's only Jah I hold on to. It's only Jah I hold on to. All is vanity. All is vanity. It's only Jah I hold on to. It's only Jah I hold on to. All is vanity. All is, yeah. And I make them wonder what kind of influence we under. We a go roll like thunder, like Christ in his kingly character. Don't let them control your mind. Rasta man a one war. Your government now go fight. Not at all for the poor man's right. Someday, one day, when I'm able to relax with my family, take them to picnic on a Sunday. If life was a thing that money could buy, we would surely and the boat surely die. And that's the way it seems to me. That's the way it seems to me. Jah I hold on to. It's only Jah I hold on to. All is vanity. All is vanity. It's only Jah I hold on to. It's only Jah I hold on to. All is vanity. All is, yeah. Them a jump for the people rights. The system don't give us no vice. Won't provide and can't provide. We need some changes in our life. Them a jump for the people rights. The system don't give us no vice. Won't provide and can't provide. We need some changes in our life. Someday, one day, when I'm able to relax with my family, take them out to picnic on a Sunday. It's only Jah I hold on to. It's only Jah I hold on to. All is vanity. All is vanity. It's only Jah I hold on to. It's only Jah I hold on to.
Running true to the grand risings here on the galaxyofthewe.net. Lines are open 0203289650. How is your morning this morning? Message to Ala Ono.
Oh yeah.
Message.
Trying time. What the world is talking about. You got confusion all over the land. Yeah. You got mother against daughter. You got father against son. You know the whole thing is getting out of hand. Oh, but maybe folks will not to suffer. If there was more love for your brother, but these are trying times. Yes, it is. You got the riots and the ghetto. It's all around. A whole lot of things that's wrong going down. Yes, it is. I can't understand it. My point of view, cause I think you should do would have them do unto you.
Personal trainers
Then maybe folks would not suffer. If there was more love for your brother, but these are trying times, yes it is. I say man is always talking about his inhumanity to man. But what is it trying to do to make it a better man? Oh, just read the paper, turn on the TV. You see folks demonstrating about equality, but maybe folks wouldn't have to suffer if there was more love for your brother. But these are trying times. Trying times. Yeah, that's what the world is talking about. You got confusion all over the world.
Why don't black people vote? Well, it's a long thing to vote for your part. Like you said, they're gonna pick anybody anyway.
I can't answer that question. I think that it's just the lack of not being able to, feeling that you're not going to make any impact whatsoever.
Why don't black people vote?
I think black people don't vote because they kind of like lost faith. You know what I mean? In all things.
Why don't black people vote?
Why don't black people vote?
I think mistakenly they reduced the act of democratic participation to once a 4-year exercise where they put an X in the box.
Why don't black people vote?
Because we don't trust them. Why don't black people vote?
Why don't black people vote? I don't know, because I don't vote.
Now in Montgomery County, the district attorney is updating us on a deadly shooting that
Young, gifted, and black. Oh, what a lovely, precious dream. Young, gifted, and black. Open your heart to what I mean, to what I mean. 'Cause you know, in this whole wide world, there's a million boys and girls who are young, gifted, and black.
that's a fact. Oh, yes, it is. To be young, gifted, and black. We must begin to tell our young don't you know that there's a whole world waiting for you. Haven't you heard the quest? It's just begun. Don't you know that the joy of today is the day that we all be proud to say we're young, gifted and black, and it's shown up where it's at. Oh yeah. Do you believe it? I said it's shown up where it's at. Oh yeah, yeah. Can I get somebody to help me to say it's shown up? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't you know it's shown up? I ain't trying to bring down nobody else, but I know it's shown up. Yeah, yeah. I don't think you believe me. Can I say it again? Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
And 90% will be wiped out by the third. And I already know that's a hard pill to swallow. So stick around for the rest of this video so your family doesn't end up becoming one of these statistics. Hello and welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you find any value at all from this video. So today we're going to be talking about generational wealth, and not just how to obtain it, but mainly how to keep it by leveraging your own family bank. So usually there's that one individual in the family that breaks all the barriers and completely changes that family's legacy. And the fact that you're here watching this video dramatically puts those odds in your favor. There are two main families that are usually brought up when anyone brings up the topic of family banking. And that's the Vanderbilt family and the Rockefeller family. And these happen to be two of the wealthiest families that ever existed in America. So Cornelius Vanderbilt made his fortune in the transportation business. At his death in 1877, it was estimated that his family fortune was worth over $100 million, which was more than the U.S. Treasury actually held at that time. If you were to translate that to today's times, his family would be worth about $200 billion, which easily placed him as the richest man in America. He ended up passing 95% of his wealth directly to his son, William Vanderbilt. And William started off doing great things with the money, but eventually the Vanderbilt family became known for their lavish spending. And there's nothing wrong with spending at all. The problem was they began spending more money than actual income they had coming in. And you don't need a degree in finance to know that's a recipe for disaster. And of course, they ended up losing it all. The Vanderbilts held a family reunion back in 1973. And of the 120 family members that attended, none of them were millionaires. So they literally went from the richest family in America to losing it all in just a few generations. And then you have the Rockefeller family. John D. Rockefeller made his fortune selling oil. He started Standard Oil of Ohio back in 1870. His business was refining more than 90% of the oil in the United States. And as a result, he then became the richest man in America. He ended up dying in 1937 and had amassed more than $1.5 billion. In today's dollars, that'd be worth over $340 billion. And his son, John D. Rockefeller Jr., inherited the vast majority of his wealth as well. So these two stories almost seem identical to each other. But here's the difference. John Jr. made a decision to keep all the family's money together. And little did he know that decision would completely change the legacy of his family. And he kept the money together by utilizing what's called a family bank. And this family bank is how the Rockefellers are still one of the wealthiest families in America. It's estimated they're worth about $8.4 billion. And that's while still donating $50 million a year to charity. And those two family examples are really important to understand because it gives you a chance to choose which direction you want your family legacy to head down. So now that we've talked about the why, now let's talk about the how. So here are the exact steps you need to know in order to create a family bank. The first thing you're going to do is create what's called a family office. And this will be a group of trusted advisors that will help your family maintain and grow their wealth. And this doesn't mean you have to go out and hire some expensive wealth advisor or something like that. Because again, the goal is to be as smart as possible with this money. So just figure out who's going to be the family's tax person, their investment person, their insurance person, their estate planner, their realtor, and any other area that may have a financial concern. The overlap of those individuals helps make sure you always make the right financial decisions. Next, you want to put together a family constitution. This step is extremely important because this is where you set the guidelines for your family bank. And all future generations will have to follow those guidelines. And your family needs to understand that just because they are family does not mean they get guaranteed participation to this family bank. So you'll set up certain philosophies and values that must be maintained by the participants. You can include educational planning, which ensures that the younger generations learn about life, money, and wealth while they're still a child. One common principle that's used a lot is a family retreat, where the older generations teach the younger generations all these different principles. The Constitution will also dictate how money gets used. It could be for things like entrepreneurship, education, real estate, or other personal family situations. Then you want to create a family board. These are going to be various individuals that collectively decide whether someone can borrow money or not. And those decisions are based on a majority vote. But of course, you must maintain an odd number of board members to make sure there is somebody that can always be a tiebreaker. Then you move forward with establishing your trust. This trust will be your family bank. Now, the money that's going into the trust typically comes from a life insurance death benefit that paid out, the sale of a property, the sale of a business, a lump sum of money that's currently sitting in another account, or gradual funding during your lifetime. Traditional estate planning typically passes a lump sum of money to individuals with little or no conditions at all. But this entrusted planning focuses on giving your family the ability to replicate wealth versus just spin through the wealth. The goal is to make sure your family doesn't start over every generation at ground zero, but instead it will allow them to leverage your legacy to help them get an edge in life. And this method isn't about controlling everything from the grave, but rather give them the opportunity to tap into the family bank if they plan on doing the right things with the money. Next, you're going to have the trust purchase life insurance policies on all the participating family members for the highest amount possible. Now, it can't be any type of life insurance policy because the strategy won't work. It must be cash value life insurance. The first reason is because cash value life insurance allows your money to gain compound interest. And that's important because you always want to park your money somewhere that's going to be working for you versus having it sit somewhere getting little to no interest at all. These policies also allow you to take out policy loans on your own terms, which means you don't have to worry about credit worthiness or anything else that typically gets in the way of getting a traditional loan. And these loans usually have favorable interest rates. And some policies give you multiple options. And while there is an outstanding loan, you still gain compound interest on your entire cash value. However, the most important part of utilizing this specific type of life insurance policy is the fact that there's a permanent death benefit. And because you will have money constantly flowing in and out of your family bank, there's always a risk of someone not paying back their loan, whether it be for reasons within their control or out their control. So there is no guarantee that all the money the family bank loans out will be paid back regardless of the person's intent. But the one thing that is guaranteed is that no one lives forever. So when those insurance policies were set up, the trust was listed as a designated beneficiary. So that means upon someone's death, the trust will always be replenished back to what it was before it loaned out the money. But in most cases, it'll be a lot more because the death benefit is generally larger than whatever the loan was. And that death benefit pays to the trust 100% tax-free. And that right there ensures there will always be money available for the following generations to come. So mathematically, the trust will never be depleted. So now you have a clear understanding of what the Rockefeller family actually did versus what the Vanderbilt family failed to do. And now you can determine what you want to do for your family moving forward. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this strategy. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more financial content.
Many man has gone away. Many man has gone astray, searching. I'm hoping that my treasure can be you. And I believe,
All right, the top of the hour, we shall have our sister Shanice.
the less you see.
Grand risings, one and all.
Treasure for me. I've seen men carry their hopes from town to town, trying to track lost treasure down. Some find true love before their hopes are gone. Others lose hope and they have to go on. And I believe, the further you look, the less you see. I'm hoping you be the treasure for me. Traveling on, wondering if they've done something wrong. Wonder if I'm becoming irrelevant. But if you be mine, my searching is all over, Lord. The further you look, show love, the less you see. I'm hoping you be the treasure for me. Traveling on, wondering if they've done something wrong. Wonder if I'm becoming a rover. But indeed, my searching is all over, Lord. The further you show love, the less you see. I'm hoping you be the treasure for me, just for me, only me, baby, just for me, nobody else but me. I don't want you to play around with nobody else, just you but me. Be still. Yeah. Be still. Oh, babe. Be still, my people, be still. For the devil is rising, he wants us to do his will. By filling our hearts with anger, he wants to divide and conquer. So be still, my people, be still. There is good, there is God in the hearts of everyone. By the way that reflects, you know we should understand. Oh, the running up and down won't help in this time. We all got to be positive in our mind. Chill, my people, be still. Oh, now. Be still, my people, be still. For the devil is arising, he wants us to do his will. By filling our hearts with anger, he wants to divide and conquer. So be still, my people.